But then again, typical gamer and Thief kind of like the outskirts, but we have seen them going salty themselves just straight into bunkers. So I think overall the play styles between the two are going to match up perfectly, and because of that, could spell for a very interesting start overall. But it does look like we will have a shifty. Is that a shifty drop, or am I wrong? I can't see.
Look at a salty spring.
That looks like a salty spring.
That's a salty.
That is that, man, I tell you, my eyesight's getting really bad. I'm 26 and it's gone. Yeah,
26 or 46.
As we see a double bunker push, one on top, one on the bottom for Daequan and CaMiLLs. And when it comes to typical gamer and Thief, like I said, similar play styles, they're going to be at Salty Springs themselves.
Yeah, like I said, matching play styles. All four players going to the exact same building. And now it's really a fight for loot and who can really start to kind of set the tone early. As it looks like for the time being, Typical and Thief kind of dispersing, like I said, a lot of that utility, some full pots being handed out from one another. But really, the question for me is really once Salty is kind of cleared out, where do we go from that point of view? Do you go toward Dusty Divot? Do you make your way in toward Retail Row? Do you maybe even try to transition yourself based off the zone to an area north or south of you? It's really a lot of questions to be asking right now as all four players in a very tightly contested area.
Just laughing because I see one player just like bolt in, and he quickly regretted how he just wasted his life there as he just comes straight in the middle of both Typical Gamer Thief and Daequan and CaMiLLs. And obviously your chances of winning that fight, unless you're a god, is just not too good. But of course, Daequan opting to come out of that fight, and he's going to come in and do all the work. But then again, it is in fact, I believe, was that CaMiLLs who was able to pick up that knock. But he's going to take massive damage. We actually could see him go down as he is sitting at a current of 3 health overall. And he's got to be careful. Luckily, he does have that mini, but it's not going to be enough. At this point, he's got to change his play style and play a little bit more passive.
And there's those Akimbos I'm talking about. I want to see those bad boys in action. You see him reload him. He's got the gold ones in the back pocket. Nobody wants to pick up the Boogie Bomb, which is a little unfortunate because I'm trying to see some more dancing. And Daequan, if we know of anybody, might use that.
Here,
Let's just say that I would like the actual book. I'm going to hold it the whole time until somebody actually uses it within the tournament. For the rest of the tournament, I'm going to hold this in my hand.
Yep.
Praying that somebody drops it. Of course, we got that slurp juice. He's going to use that. You know why?
As long as you don't pull the pin on the Boogie Bomb, I'd be okay.
Yeah, because then we'd all explode, and that would be really awkward. I can't have your brain matter on me while I'm trying to play. And
definitely would be
enjoy
distracting.
This tournament.
I would
It would
have
be very, very awkward. But 5 kills out of Thief, because guess what, guys? Thief is hungry in this losers bracket matchup. Up 2 now for TG and Thief here in this game 1.
Ooh, and a rocket actually in the back pocket for TG as well. Thought he was about to pull that one out from the top side of that structure. However, will digress, and now it's about who can get the most mats, who's trying to get those resources and try to progress themselves. It looks like for Daequan and CaMiLLs, they're quickly making their way north toward Dusty Divot. And who's going to beat him there? It looks like it's going to be Thief, who happens to go and hop in a shopping cart, grab a Typical along the way, as they're making their way toward Dusty first. A finish line. It looks like a photo finish, and it will be Typical and Thief who will walk away with that particular victory.
Yeah, definitely using the shopping cart to the fullest of their abilities. Did they use the rocket to get a little bit of a launch? Because they were going pretty fast, and I don't know if you can push that fast. But with that being said, of course, with them coming down there, they're automatically going to go straight to work as we see Thief getting a knock plus and a limb. And more players straight ahead as Daequan and CaMiLLs are trying to come in hot pursuit as the rocket is going to be raining down. It will not connect, but we finally see frag is going to be in their possessions. As luckily for them, that shopping cart coming in clutch, getting that little distance, resulted in 2 extra frags on their part to now be leading 4 frags over Daequan and CaMiLLs as they have to switch up their strategy. Now they're going to be pushing off to the distance and look like they could be heading, what is that, towards Split Mountain, maybe over to Shifty Tilted area.
Can you also point out as well that Thief has 7 frags already? The next highest is 3, which happens to be with CaMiLLs. Like 7 kills coming out right of Salty Springs, literally hitting into Dusty Divot. That is unreal stuff. That's actually crazy. So, of course, along with that, looks like a very high up structure being built along with the jump pad. Is that what's going to be grabbed? And looks like just trying to grab some vision right now.
Still not seeing any Boogie Bomb action. Not saying I'm disappointed, but what I am saying is Typical Gamer is probably one of the best support players I've seen in any of these duos that we watch. Literally, you're looking at 7 kills from Thieves. However, we see Andre literally dropping probably, I'd say, 130 of those shields across the board. Thief going in there, getting some nice picks, leading now by 6 total kills. But we are seeing Daequan and CaMiLLs now making their way into Tilted. And I'm telling you, they're walking downtown, and they're walking fast. and Faces surpassed him homebound.
And one thing that's very, very noticeable, too, is that Typical Gamer and Thief, the reason why they rocked that bounce pad is to actually beat TSM into Tilted Tower. So on the opposite side of the map, what they do is they find the kills in Dusty Divot. From there, what they do to try to counter the strategies coming through from TSM is to beat them at their own game. Essentially, TG and Thief, they pull out 2 strategies rather than just one. Fantastic plays and great knowledge coming in from TG and Thief to rock that strategy there, Tay.
Yeah, definitely so. Call me Tay.
I love you, Tay.
Tay-Tay?
Oh, why on stream
Lil
out of all
Tay.
things?
Lil Tay.
Jeez, man. That's cool. We'll call it out. But with that being
Tater
said,
tot?
I just want to highlight on what you just said. The shopping cart, use of the jump pad, it's all about positioning, and they know the importance of it. And with them using all of that to the ability, they are, oh no, as we saw, actually, he opened that up and saw a Red Knight coming directly for him. As fortunately, he was able to get away from that position as... You have no idea what I deal with off camera. We are sitting at a total of 12 frags for Typical Gamer and Thief, as we're sitting at a total of 4 on the right for Daequan and CaMiLLs. But it comes down to what Landon was saying. It comes down to the positioning between Typical Gamer and Thief. They have managed to get a shopping cart, a bounce pad, and managed to get ahead of Daequan and CaMiLLs. And they're constantly shifting for at least that position ahead. Daequan and CaMiLLs always behind.
Let's just talk about what a nuisance TG and Thief are. They literally just flew in, saw them make their way into Tilted, and then they just made it rain. They stole those kills. Now they've extended their lead to a total of 8 going into this game 1. We're already halfway through, 29 engagements. But you know what? They're just going to follow you guys wherever you go anyways, because why not? Get those kill stills. They know they took a big enough lead off the separated drop at the beginning. Of course, you're going into this latter half of the match. Just keep following them, steal some kills. You know what I'm saying? Keep them down in the lower half of the bracket. But you know what Daequan and CaMiLLs do is they need to separate themselves from Thieves and TG.
Oh.
And they need to just...
It's a lot easier said than done.
I need some more emotes, Daequan.
You think so?
I need it.
I think it makes it kind of like powers him up a little bit. Makes him feel a bit more confident, but nice little overskill build, taking down the enemy and also goes for the edit. And just like that, there goes the Omega. Worked hard for the that skin, but
yes,
unfortunately not good enough as Daequan will laugh his way into finding yet again more and more frags. I think this was a full squad of Omegas taken down in a matter of moments. TSM has other plans, and they're trying to keep that lead intact, trying to make sure that they can continue on here inside of the outskirts of Loot Lake.
Yeah, current score sitting at 12-5 as we're looking at TG and Thief playing so incredibly well overall, as Loot Lake is going to be that area. And honestly, an area that I'm not a very big fan of, but still one of those necessary evils that you have to navigate through is look at CaMiLLs. He's actually going to be stuck, and hopefully he'll be able to piggyback off of the bouncer trap we just saw Thief use. But unfortunately, he's actually not going to go for it. He's going to choose to go through the water himself and go off to the right. So that's going to cause a lot of damage as well as a momentum slowdown for Daequan and CaMiLLs. And once again, TG, Typical Gamer, is already going to be ahead of the game well into that storm. Daequan and CaMiLLs, again, trying to chase behind.
What's going on, Legion?
CaMiLLs missed the bounce pad. It fell off and took fall damage.
Oh,
that would be
no.
like the worst way
no.
of all time to be eliminated in this tournament.
Oh,
But
thank
luckily, he's
goodness
got
he
those
has
bandages in the back pockets. If he didn't, there's going to be a lot of disappointment for TSM fans at home there to watch CaMiLLs go down to a having a low vertical there on the bounce pad. Just decided to wave bye to it and fall down. But maybe he did it on purpose for whatever reason. Chad, you can go ahead and correct me on that if that's the case. But I think it was just a miss there. Of course, 116 HP, but we're looking at Daequan is a monster with that snip snap.
What a sniper shot. Happens to thread the needle just somehow around the corner, hampers in that sniper bullet, as now it looks like going for the rush. Of course, sniper from afar, pump shots up close, and just like that, that's now 6 kills, 9 in total for TSM. But on the opposite, a knockdown just happens to come through from Typical Gamer, as that should be up to 12-13, I believe, once that knockdown comes forward, at the very least, for TG and Thief. So sitting pretty, right? Yep. And it's good to see a very close game compared to kind of our last few, some eliminations early. It hasn't really been the closest of games. This one, but the opposite.
Yep, total score 13-9 as we're seeing Daequan and CaMiLLs trying to close a little bit of that deficit. Not a bad start overall, but of course it came down to the very start of it where we saw both teams mirroring that salty drop. And Typical Gamer and Thief, honestly, they played it just a little bit better. And because of that, they're showing forth in their hard work as they do currently have the lead. And of course, like I said, going back to even our first tournaments, they've been one of the consistent teams throughout. Happy to see them playing together once again, and maybe we'll see them play together some more given the success they've already had in this tournament. But of course, playing it out to meet up with Myth and Hamlin's in this next loser final match. So it'd be kind of interesting to see that TSM Civil War still up for grabs. But of course, Daequan and CaMiLLs have to get through TG and Thief at this point. And I got to tell you, Thief is on point, but we do see a player is going to drop. And unfortunately, that's going to be CaMiLLs. Daequan, once again, last alive for his team to try and push them through towards the end.
Yeah, CaMiLLs takes a fall, and now it's going to be up to Daequan to keep his team afloat, to keep them alive.
Oh!
The Boogie Bomb. And now
I saw it!
Daequan's
I
actually
put the Boogie Bomb down.
dancing, and just like that, I believe TG and or Thief come through and take out that player. In some situations, it's a blessing in disguise for Daequan, but also quickly has to go for the res. But yes, the Boogie Bomb comes through, and Daequan, unfortunately, not intentionally emoting that time.
It has to be the most epic thing. You guys have no idea. Literally, when Legion said he was going to be holding our Boogie Bomb, at least that we have for a prop, he was not lying. He was literally holding it the entire time.
He's ready to pull the pin.
I was finally able to put it down.
He only put it down when he saw the Boogie Bomb come through.
Once I saw it in action, I knew that this was the best Friday Fortnite event that I've ever been a part of. I knew that things were different. I got to say Harry Potter. I got to see the Boogie Bomb in use. I got to see CaMiLLs almost die for missing a bounce pad, which was just gratifying in general. Almost pulled a Tim there. But luckily, I think Tim went out losers too this tournament. Unfortunate for him.
And Tomato Man going down as well too. So good to see Tomato Man die all over again. We've already seen him die throughout the map, and now he's going to die to the hands of Thief. But he is going to take some major damage. He's having to try and build up. Of course, the last remaining frags are well underway as look at Daequan raining down bullets there. But there it is. Thief finally is going to go down because of the storm, and he is not, in fact, going to be rezzed. I don't think he can break the storm at this point. It's going to be ticking away a lot of health as the storm is now getting relatively close towards the final ends. This is where Daequan and CaMiLLs need to perform, but they're going to be in the storm themselves, whereas Typical Gamer already has made his way through. And he might, in fact, be able to find these final frags.
Indeed, of course, elimination still available as Typical sprang through the storm desperately, trying to find as many as he possibly can. Of course, really just in unison, right, to try to pad in any particular lead that he has as it currently stands. But like we mentioned, 4 more, rather. Well, actually, no, 3 kills in total still left around the map. And we'll see as we enter in toward the opposite outskirts of Retail Row who can find these.
Thief's eliminated himself, so that's exciting. Wasn't CaMiLLs, ended up being Thieves there. Always a great way to go out, having your build destroyed or just missing a nice little ledge on the fall there. I would like to bring up the point that they now have 16 total eliminations here. There are 3, actually, pardon me, 3 engagements remaining here in the game. Of course, CaMiLLs and Daequan trying to just make that deficit a little bit smaller there. And we're all playing with our VBet coins.
We are.
Because these are fun and we're children.
So you see Daequan and CaMiLLs hopefully can close out a little bit of this deficit overall as they're going to be just outside of retail for the man of Typical Gamer, as well as Daequan and CaMiLLs just outside of Dusty Divot. Still no people to be found, but as I say that, Daequan does spot one player with the pop rock, so he's got to be careful. He's not going to be able to outbuild this player. That's one of the most known facts is if you're going against somebody with a pop rock, kind of just have to wait it out and wait for that opponent to kind of be used up, as he is in fact going to build over, goes down, gets the knock, and that's going to be ever so important, being 4 frags down overall. And where are the others? As I kind of missed that. Did he get the instant elim or did he get the knock?
I believe it was the instant elimination.
Okay, so still another team remaining somewhere out there.
Hey, and CaMiLLs gets another cleanup there. So it's actually 1 player remaining in the game. This is great. 13 now, only down by 3 for Daequan and CaMiLLs. If they are able to get this last kill, it will be a 2-kill deficit going into game 2. A lot closer than the last matchup that we saw, at least for the start of game 2. And TG looking to get that steal, of course. Andre, look at that, biting the lip, says, I'm going to steal this from you. Tries to pull the rocket launcher out, but he doesn't spot the player.
Yep.
He's hiding.
I think that was actually...
He put on an invisible cloak.
I think Typical Stream is actually a little bit far behind. That was the kill that CaMiLLs actually found. So
he's playing on a 16-hour delay. This is actually tomorrow when we're watching this.
It's actually we're actually in Australia right now.
Yeah,
how
it's
far
crazy.
The Thief Stream is.
Is this guy at the top?
Oh,
Please
no.
tell me he's at the top.
Oh, please tell me that someone shoots him down, like literally in the middle of the air before he falls.
He actually just disappeared in the portal. There's aliens up there, actually.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the next theme.
Aliens? I've been hearing a lot of speculation around that, especially on Reddit.
Maybe aliens are the next theme. Ooh.
How would you like use skins though? Like how would that work?
You can actually it's like all parasitic, so your skin comes out of the body and morphs into the other one. Yeah, it's going to be pretty violent and aggressive. Definitely ups the rating from, I believe, teen to AO, adult only, at that point.
I think it's a great marketing strategy.
I think it's a terrible marketing strategy, so
I don't know, man.
they would probably never do it. But you never know.
You really don't.
Never know with Epic, right? They're always up to something, but we do have Daequan quite far up there in the air. He's got to be careful. Of course, CaMiLLs will, in fact, see that player, but I believe that's Typical Gamer who's going to pick up the final frag, and that's going to be, what is that? I think a 4-kill lead going into the second game, 17 to, I believe it's going to be a 3-frag lead going into the second game. So obviously not a lot. Not a lot, as we'll see if Daequan and CaMiLLs will be able to counter the attack. Of course, both of them coming in. We're putting on that replay, which is actually live, but given the fact that we saw, of course, we discussed his delay is a little bit large.
Look at that dance move to finish.
I'm telling you, I got to buy
hey,
that.
Red
That is great.
Knight.
Oh, okay.
Oh, hit it. Hit it, Andre. Woo!
Oh, you just love to see it, man.
I do.
Great dance move.
IRL and in the game. I mean, that's crazy. You know what's hilarious to me is every time we watch these matchups, it's so easy for them to get victory royales. They're just going aggressively for kills. So imagine watching them play cautiously. I bet you, what's the world win record right now for squads? I bet you they could beat it, no problem. Any of these guys.
World win record for squads.
Yeah, like streak.
You know
what I'm saying?
I'm
pretty sure I just blew Taylor's
That's
mind.
a question I never
Just kind of
contemplated.
Stranger Things season 2, just like
Like I've been thinking about like overall like what's
2,500
like kills and kills and elimination. I don't know if they even track squads. That's actually quite a interesting thing to think about.
You never know. All I'm saying is they're going to be setting records. Okay, I'm all about it.
Yeah.
I never thought
Love to
about
see
that.
it.
I love to see you, Lando.
Oh, thank you so much, Lee.
You're so flippin' amazing.
Thank you so much. It's so sweet of you to say. I think you look great in your outfit, by the way.
Thank you. I picked it out knowing that it was going to be the same one I've worn at least twice for these Fridays.
You're
different
consistent.
shoes.
You're at least consistent, though.
That's what it's all about.
It is. Consistency is key. And that's a factor that, of course, both of our squads coming into this next game are going to need to have, right? Consistency, when it comes in from match to match, they're transitioning their play into loser's bracket, and they're here for that exact reason. Now, with the scoreline being the way that it is, right, of course, not much of a kill deficit for either way. I mean, really, you kind of wipe this one clean. It's like, hey, heading into game number 2, who really has the advantage? But like you mentioned, Taylor, heading into game number 1, it's so hard to call between both of these teams because of how similar they played to each other. They're all about going Salty Springs, outskirts Salty Springs, shifty shafts, like whatever it may be. It's not really surprising that we see both teams kind of cater to the exact same strat in back-to-back games. But really, to me, it's going to be a matter of if we do all go Salty Springs, because that's looking to be the way that it's going. If they all go Salty Springs, it's a matter of those rotations, because we were talking about Typical Gamer and Thief, of course, do possess that lead coming into this match. One really major factor to me that really kind of set them apart, I'm not sure about you guys, was that bounce pad play, right? Yep. They're sitting inside of Dusty Divot. They're trying to find some kills while Daequan and CaMiLLs go off the tower, tilt the towers. They rock the bounce pad play and literally intercept exactly what the opposition was trying to do, basically meaning that they had 2 different opportunities rather than one. Of course, already inside of Salty Springs, Daequan spotting one enemy going toward his bottom floor and has no weapon to save for it. Of course, puts down the ramp just to try to solidify that player has to go through something to give him a little bit of an idea, but here comes the chest. So actually a player happens to be in the garage.
Baiting him. He's baiting him, Landy. He was waiting for him to try to go for that chest.
Yeah.
So apparently he's a little bit experienced here for dropping Salty, because at that point I'm going to be crying. I'm going to be scared that there's literally somebody just wait. I actually didn't even know that you could see directly. That's a strict angle that kid was taking to be able to try to put shots on him from underneath that garage area. Of course, Daequan, smart play, just running away. He's got bandages in the back pocket. He'll be at 75, no problem. But you've also got Thief down there who's taking any sort of loot.
Protect me.
So Daequan is just trying to get away, get healed, and of course you've got his teammate CaMiLLs. All he needs to do is try to pop off, maybe steal some kills as well from Thief. Of course, TG also in the area. So this is going to be a difficult play here for Daequan. He does find a llama, though. Spam it.
In chat.
Pinata.
Oh, boy. But that's the thing we talk about, right? When you go inside of Salty Springs compared to outskirts Salty Springs, that's the reason why we see our phases. That's the reason why we see Ninja and Hysteria, teams of those caliber, go outskirts Salty Springs because of the unknown, the RNG that really comes into those particular cities, those hot drops, essentially. But thankfully for Daequan, he kind of digresses back. Still yet to actually find a full-on weapon. Thankfully he has some grenades, but he's sitting pretty solid when it comes down to the utility factor.
And the only thing that I think they're thinking at this point is, thank goodness Typical Gamer and Thief haven't found as many frags as to be expected in Salty. Of course, they will start heating up just a little bit, but that was a huge momentum shift. If Daequan would have found a weapon within that house, he would have at least got 2 frags for himself, and he would have started off the game relatively well, of course, coming into this 2 kills down. So with that being said, him having to backtrack out is almost it's reflecting back to the HD and Crafty match where we saw them land Anarchy and unfortunately didn't find a weapon. They had to backtrack all the way and then come back in. We're seeing kind of the same situation here. Now they're coming in. CaMiLLs, he is forced to push into Salty himself, whereas Daequan still is going to be on the outer edge. He's having to heal up. He only has a sub in his inventory.
Oh.
But with that being said, CaMiLLs trying to get in on the action, and he is in fact going to find a frag himself, trading off with the players of Typical Gamer and Thief, as he's going to be down there just trying to be a nuisance. Honestly, very smart play.
GT is trying to steal as many kills as possible, as there was quite a bit of congestion really happening in that particular area, as we get to see it again there on Thief's screen, or excuse me, Typical Gamer's screen, definitely coming down to the wire. I think in both those situations, Typical was what, at 8 HP. I think for a moment it was CaMiLLs who was on like at least like 9 or like 8 or 9 HP as well. So very, very close quarters position, but keep in mind right now for Daequan, top right of our screen, has made his way in toward Fatal Fields. He's even transitioned to a totally different portion of the map. And like we said, he's low in health. He's low in shields. He's got shots coming in from all different directions, but happens to be building like a god. Fantastic play coming through to try to grab as much high ground as he possibly can, but we're still receiving shots, pump shots to the body, as he needs to try and reassess the situation, as he needs to try as well just to stay alive. Of course, he is flirting with death. TSM on the outskirts, on the very edge of potentially being eliminated from this tournament.
No.
Daequan falls, and there is going to be no one there for the res. CaMiLLs in an opposite city when it comes down to this game, as that's going to be a permanent 1v2 for CaMiLLs facing off against Typical Gamer and Thief. And boys, if we know anything about when TG and Thief have a lead in this game and they have the advantage, they mirror like crazy. This is not going to be a fun rest of the match for CaMiLLs, and you can already see him. He's not interested in Salty Springs. He's trying to get out of here as much as possible and try to be as stealthy as he possibly can, rocking a the skin that kind of promotes stealthy play.
Yeah, they're going to stalk him. That's as easy as it gets for TG and Thief. They're going to stalk him for the rest of this game. Once again, like you said, separation is going to be key for him. Obviously down by about 9 or 10 at this point. Still quite a few kills, quite a few eliminations available here in this game. So it's basically up to him to try to get the separation, and he's going to have some massive squad swipes. Now, for us watching CaMiLLs for this entire tournament, haven't really seen too much action from him without Daequan present.
Yeah.
Haven't seen him doing a lot of squad swipes. We've been seeing Daequan as CaMiLLs has been going down earlier than the other. So he needs to step up if TSM wants to continue to try to advance through this loser's bracket. TG and Thief, though, notorious for coming out on top of the situation when they have a lead like this. 6 kills already. And I love you.
Thank you very much for that, Legion.
I think he
And
was talking to me, actually.
Well,
Who
were you talking to?
I was talking
Oh,
to both.
okay.
okay, thank you. Thank you very much for that, Legion.
appreciate
Of
that.
course, transitioning into it, see, CaMiLLs is going to be coming over, trying to find some revenge for Daequan. Get that out of your mouth. You shouldn't be chewing on a V-Bug, brother.
Dude,
What do you do? What do
I
you
want the
mean,
V-Bug
brother?
to be one with me.
Okay. Well, that's not going to pass if you do eat that.
It's going
It's
to
not
pass health inspection. Don't worry. I have a friend that works in the department.
right on. So we'll see CaMiLLs himself pushing forward, trying to get that revenge on who destroyed Daequan as a shot comes from the back, and phenomenal stuff getting that elimination. Now he's going to push forward even more so on these players building up on the ramp, but he will take some damage. Now, mind you, this is the same team who took out Daequan earlier, so we know they have the potential to put up a good fight, but CaMiLLs is going to get dropped, and that's going to be all she wrote for Daequan and CaMiLLs. They will be out of this tournament, but what a performance overall. They played extremely well, but that only means Typical Gamer and Thief are going to be moving on to the losers finals to play against TSM Myth and Hamlin's, a powerhouse team, but Typical Gamer and Thief coming hot off of this. Obviously they haven't played together in some time, coming in now showing obviously why they were a team before and a team now, and they're now in the losers finals to try and play for that slot, at least for the grand finals, against the team of FaZe to try and take them out, but now they're guaranteed in the money.
They are indeed.